So I was talking to a friend of mine who was feeling down, and I'm not going to go into details on why, because some stories are better left unsaid. Oh yeah, and thanks guys for listening in uh, to the Monday morning cast. Uh, so what I want to talk about, what I said to my friend was more on the content wise. Um, People seem to misinterpret what a hero really is. Society's definition is that a hero is an extraordinary leader, somebody everyone must know, and somebody who has to be immortalized. Uh, when that is a very limited hero, it's like it's like the fact that your story has to be some better than everyone else's to be considered a hero isn't really a hero. A real hero is what nature defines it. Nature defines hero as somebody who sends a message to the future. Heroes pass down their books or life stories down to the next generation, but not to be remembered, but so that others can start their own journey, their own story. False heroes only want to be passed down so that they can be immortalized because of their fear of death. Because if you follow another story, is it really yours? So that's why it's like it's good to have variety rather than just be a rehash of another person's novel. The next generations are supposed to read these books as a guideline, but not to ever copy. But what I dislike is when people show uh, past heroes stories, is they always show all the good, but none of the bad. I mean, I get it. Some are better left unsaid, but it's like, if it's like you gotta it's like I would love to see it to kind of see the character progression on how that character overcame their evil. You know what I mean? It's like, especially if it's one of those immortalized heroes, quote quote. It's like if it's one of those guys, I want to see it because nobody's perfect. We're all humans. A generation could look at it and go like, "Wow, this guy didn't have any bad things he did." It's like, nah, people had bad things. Humans are flawed. It's like, admit it, admit it. So how this conversation progressed is sooner or later we started talking about God. A lot of people who who see this world as bad often say one thing a lot. Luckily, my friend did not. Uh, if God was here, why isn't God doing anything? The answer is actually very simple. God has passed down the torch a long time ago. Heroes pass down the torch so that others may start their own journey or novel. When Jesus died, he did not only destroy the original sin, there was actually more to it than that. He actually passed, is like God, like Jesus actually passed down the torch. God passed down the torch so that now we are the hero and he is now the veteran hero. What is a veteran hero? A veteran hero is a supporter for the next heroes. He's a support hero. We all have read or heard about God's story, but now it's our turn, and God it will be with us any way He can, any way God can. You don't have to do anything extravagant to be considered having a good story. Just by living, you have a great story that affects everybody around you. And so it's like, that's honestly like my belief when it comes to this, is that when people say, "Oh, well, why isn't God here? Why isn't He delivering punishment?" It's like, if you look at the Old Testament, yeah, that was His story, and the story of His Son in the New Testament. But notice how there was a little differential. The story of God's Son, God's Son, is like a little bit different. It's like, and that's the thing. God passed down the torch, and then Jesus passed down God's torch to everybody. It's like to everyone. So now that the shackles no longer bind us from being able to do anything, the fact is, the reason why baptism is always seen as something great is because it's a ceremony of welcoming a new hero into this world. That's actually why. People say, oh, it's destroyed the original sin. It's like, I feel like it's more to it than that. I feel like it's a more deeper meaning. Because, like, a lot of people always, like, back then, always had ways of initiation and all that. And, like, this was initiation of a new hero. The fact that here comes another person with their own life and story, you know. That's what it was supposed to represent. Of course, I'm not saying like, oh, if you didn't get baptized, you're not a hero. It's like, no. I'm just saying that's the symbolism of it, of the baptism. It's like you could not be baptized. Like, if you're not baptized, like you could still be a hero. That's not true at all. And that's what I have to say about that. And it's like, well, why isn't God helping? It's like he's a veteran hero. He's here to help you to do what you want to do. What do you want to do? What is it that you want to succeed in? It's like that's what a veteran hero does. A veteran hero doesn't tell people what they're gonna do. He guides them to it. Because it's like the fact um, is like the fact is veteran heroes like reading the new stories of these new heroes. So in a way, God likes reading our stories. He likes reading every way we live. It's like it's like you know why we're all different from each other? Because it's the fact that, why would we have so many renditions of one book? Why would we have like say so like why would we have so many rehashes? Like that's why it's like you can only be you in this world. You can't be another person. Why would you want to be that same person? Why would you want to? Isn't it good to be just you? And it's like, oh, but my life sucks. Only because you see it that way. But if you open your eyes, your life doesn't suck. And it's like, yes, there are times where you're down in the dumps and your life is like really going to crap. But but that's when you need to seek the help of the veteran hero, or, seek the help of another hero. Like a crossover. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you for sure that hey, I've had helps from a lot of heroes and a lot of veteran heroes. And the veteran heroes. Like I can tell you I have a lot of help. I did not get this way on my own. It's like nobody ever gets the way they are on their own. But yeah, like people wonder how can I do good? It's like, and how can I do that? It's like leave a message for the next heroes. That's all you can do. If you worry too much about how you're going to be remembered, it's like you're not going to like what happens. And so, yeah, I know I was supposed to talk about how to make a story, but I felt like this was much better and more important, and I really had more passion about talking about this. Um, but yeah, I'll talk about that next week. Hopefully, school's been rough. Um, I was like, remember to tune into the Monday morning podcast every Monday. Um, Follow me on Twitter. I'll put the my username of Twitter. You could just search for it and below in the description. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.